action. It's so exciting. I love it. Well, howdy, how's it going? My name's Winona and welcome back to another episode of Utter Chaos.
Great news!
I now have 25 subscribers, which may not sound like a lot, but it's enough. It's enough to advance to the next stage. I've leveled up, essentially. Achievement unlocked, you know what I'm saying? Some advanced features have been made available. We now have a community tab. How exciting is that? We can also do polls. So, that got me thinking, do you want a name for you guys? Is that something you want? Maybe that could be our first poll. I don't know. Come up with some names, drop them in the comments, drop them on my Instagram post for this video or DMs, but don't slide into them, you know what I mean? Nothing sus, okay? Thank you, appreciate it. I also have Snapchat, which I keep forgetting is also a social media platform that people interact on sometimes. So I'll put that in the description as well if you want to follow me on there. Or not. I think my friends regret it. But anyway, essentially this is all up to you. Whatever you want to be called, I'll have absolutely nothing to do with it. I'll just shove it in a poll and make it available to you guys to vote on. Other than that, it's all you, baby. Don't worry, you're gonna have plenty of time to come up with names. I'll give you weeks, months, maybe a year. So anyway, now that we're a thriving little community of 25 members, just don't tell anyone, but you're my favourites. Who said that? I thought it might be a fun little way to kick off this new chapter and get you guys involved a little bit more. Anywho, I'm gonna quit jibber jabbering and bring in your best friend. That's right, you know what it's time for. It's the big box of ideas. Yeah, okay, I get it. We've been on holidays. You're being a pain in the ass. Thank you. Right. Sorry. I had it shoved in a bag in case I was going to film anything down there and I didn't even use it. Trust has been broken and I feel bad. Alrighty. This is getting quite full, I'm not going to lie. What do we got? You know what? I have been wanting this to come out. I've manifested it. Paint on PS4 cover. Ooh, this is going to be a big project. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Cool. Alright, I'm happy. Not gonna lie, I'm getting a PS5. So my PS4 needs a little bit of a zhuzhing. I need to zhuzh it up. Let's do this. Oh my god, I'm so excited. My original idea for that was I was gonna hydro dip it. This was back when everyone was hydro dipping everything. And I was like, I wanna do that to my PS4 cover. But I never did it, and I came up with a better idea instead. I think I'm going to try, keyword there, try, and maybe do a Spyro landscape, because I love Spyro. Oh, Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, first games that really got me into gaming, back when I was well, let's face it, I'm still short, but a little tiny kid. The nostalgia of a PS1, oh. One thing about me is that I just absolutely love the starting sound of a PS1. The serotonin, I am telling you. At one stage I was thinking of setting it as my message tone, so whenever I got a message, it would just... Nothing is better than that sound. I love that sound so much. Imagine. I mean, it's a long message tone, but worth it. Anyway, let's do this. I am so excited. We're going to clean this bad boy because it's, well, she dusty. Desk protection 101. It's the magic liquid. Gesso. And now we wait. In the meantime, let me do some research on my favorite Spyro landscape.
I lost the word there.
Midday Gardens. I used to love that. Should I do that or should I do a collation? Collation? Yeah. Collating. Your collage. Collage? Compilation. Should I have a whole bunch of characters that I like? Anyway, to the research. Now, I was thinking either Spyro or I just had a little brain fart. Kena, Bridge of Spirits. If you don't know that game, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Also, The Rot, which isn't the most cuddly sounding name in the world, but friggin' adorable, and I want it in real life. So that, maybe, could be an option. Oh my god, wow. I could never. I mean, I could just never. Some people are so talented. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. I want to go play Spyro now. Oh, Midday Gardens. Oh, that is gorgeous. That could be an option. I need a picture of, like, the bridge. I have it in my brain what I want. But do you think that there is a picture here? I may just have to go play it and screenshot where I want. That may be what I have to do. Do I want to do that? Okay. I'm doing Midnight Mountain. I mean, how can you not? Look at Look at how pretty that is. Yes. Yes, thank you. We're doing this. I was going to go for something sunny, you know. Midday Gardens. Oh, wow. How welcoming. But this, I mean, it suits me more. The colour scheme. Purples, blues. You can't go wrong. 2, it's night. Nighttime is the right time. I come alive at night. I am a night owl. And 3, it's glowing. I like shiny things. I'm like a magpie. Not so much shiny things, more glowy things. If things glow in the dark, I'm here for it. Bioluminescence? Hello. I love lamps. Insert moth meme here. Glow sticks. Huge fan. We're doing that. But I do just want to show you Kano Bridge of Spirits. I mean, look at that. Like the red contrasting with the green. And then those just like pops of blue is just, love it. Even the caves are pretty. Look at that. Look at it. Just look at it. Those lanterns, honey. Oh, and then the snow on the mountains. That's one of the rots sitting there. You can buy little hats for them. He's wearing a little mushroom one. It's so cute. That is gorgeous too. You know what? I'm gonna have to do some like fan art for this. It's gorgeous and I love it. Anyway, so if you want a cute little game, Kano Bridge of Spirits. Okay, I've done the second layer of gesso and I think I might just do one more and it should be ready to paint. Last coat done. I have roughly done a sketch of the scene. I've used a little artist hack and transferred the sketch over. So it's now time to paint and I'm not going to lie, I am a tad nervous. I really want this to turn out.
And so it began. But where, pray tell, does one begin with such a large, daunting task? I rarely work with paints, and it's been a while since my last full paint project, which, if you're curious to know, was when the motherly one and I decided to follow along with a Bob Ross tutorial. We were unprepared, however we soldiered on, and it didn't turn out terrible. Anywho, I thought the most logical step would be to just block out some patches of colour so I could actually distinguish between the objects and make a bit more sense of the whole thing. Next I moved on to detailing the rocks. These were small parts, but they covered a fairly wide area, and it didn't take much to make them look like what they were actually supposed to be. Given I had no idea what I was doing, I actually surprised myself by how decent they turned out. I want to say bricks? So I will. Bricks of the bridges were pretty much the same concept, except I tried to keep them looking as rectangular as possible. The little tower thing was intimidating to look at, but once I started to lay down colour, it wasn't as hard as I thought, and I quite liked adding the brick detail. Same goes with the bridge. Creating the shadows and the highlights was quite relaxing. Yet another mini tower to work on, however this ain't my first rodeo, so I tackled that thing like a boss, before noticing I had forgotten some rocks. Once they were done, it was time for the big boy tower, which had quite a bit more detail, but again, I think I like doing tiny details. My favourite parts were the brighter blue-purple lines that run down the front. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Now heading down to the portal and that teeny little rock-shaped house thing. Blocked in the missing colours there and proceeded to add more detail to the towers. I added in the windows with the blue Posca pen, which turned out to be the perfect colour for them. For added epicness, of course, the flame from the lanterns down the bottom of the big one and the side of the bridge. And we can't forget the blood red spikes. Also the yellow glow at the very tippy tops of them all. Creating that pink red glow was a tad difficult, but I think it worked out alright. I think one of my favourite parts to work on was this portal. I don't know why. It was just super satisfying. Getting it to look like a portal and not just having it blend into the rocks behind it was a major achievement for me, and I was actually quite proud of it, and I think it turned out really well. Back to painting rocks. This time they pushed back a little, so trying to create that depth was something I tried to focus on. I thought that making them a slightly different colour to the ones in front would do the job nicely. Now, this crystal caused me some strife. I started out by blocking the shapes with the pink Posca because it was the closest colour match. I then went over the whole thing with a purple so I could only faintly see the lines, which I then painted in more thinly, and then proceeded to try and create a gradient. Worry not, I mend this later. Next was the part I was most nervous about. The crystal mountain things. There were so many of them. There were some in the foreground, there's some in the middle ground, there's some in the background, and they've all got so many components. Essentially, to make it easy, I broke them all down into shapes and then worked from light to dark. And my goodness, it was happening. They were actually starting to look like crystals. Those Poscas came through. Their colours were almost perfect, and the opacity of them brought in those pops of colour beautifully. My confidence grew. But I was still waiting to fail. This was just working too well. Suspiciously well. Oh yes, there's a second purple crystal down there. Let me just fill that in real quick. Cool. Okay, back to the other crystal thingos. The ones in the background I left a tad more of a dull purple blue, and then they became lighter at the foreground. Depth, am I right? The group over to the right were a tad more purple too, because from what I could gather from the reference picture, the light source is more directed towards the middle. Also, purple is pretty, so I'm not complaining. Once again, that Posca paint came in for those highlights. I dipped my paintbrush into this puddle I created on my palette with the Posca so I could get those super fine lines. Next, of course, was the grass, which was pretty easy. I just layered up some different shades of green and added some longer, thicker strands right up front. I also added in those cute little blue and red flowers, and bish bash bosh, job's done. You've got grass, my friend. The sky was literally just a solid navy blue, and I did a couple of coats so that there was no streakiness. The cloud details were going to be added in later with my metallic paints. This may have been my best idea yet, because they really made this pop. They work so well to bring in this magical feel to it, which, being a Spyro landscape, is exactly what I wanted. I also used them to create a more shimmery glow to the tops of the towers. I then added stars, which do look a tad large, I will admit, but overall, I am super proud of this piece. Now for that satisfying tape peel. And there you have it, literal days worth of work, but I am so happy with the way this turned out. I shoved a clear coat on top to protect it, and then all I had to do was snap this baby back on. Oh yeah, cue epic montage.
Oh boy, that took a long time, I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite chuffed actually. I do like Spyro, it's one of my favourite games, so I'm glad that it turned out. I was waiting to screw up. I did make a few little errors here and there, but I fixed it. Let me know what you thought. If you wanted to customise your own console, what would you have put on it? Once again, not gonna ask you to do the things, because if you want to subscribe, you're gonna do it anyway. I'm not gonna push you, because I know damn well when someone tells me to do something, I don't want to do it. I'm petty like that. If you have any ideas that you want me to put in the big box of ideas, drop them in the comments below. Send me a DM, not in a sus way. Shove them in the comments on my latest post, which will be about this very video. And yeah, that's about it. So with that, I'll see you later, Tater.